189 infrastructure projects in Ontario communities with populations of fewer than 100,000 communities. Mr. Speaker, we are getting the job done and delivering for Canadians real results.
The honourable member for Richmond Hill.
Mr. Speaker, the Environment Minister's assertion about the similarities between his approach on climate change and the Obama administration is a farce. 11 independent analyses conclude this government will not meet its reduction targets. In 3 years, not a single regulation has come into force, and each of the 3 ministers on the file have failed to track federal efforts to cut greenhouse gases. This is not President Obama's position. Why does the government pretend that it is?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary, the Minister of the Environment.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the fact is that 13 long, dark years of Liberal neglect on the environment has ended. Mr. Speaker, this is a quote I'd like to share with the House. Quote, I think our party got into a mess on the environment. We didn't get it done. You know who said that, Mr. Speaker? The Liberal leader.
Honourable member for Richmond Hill.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, the greenest budget in Canadian history, the most aggressive plan of the G8, not 13 dark years. Unfortunately, that member doesn't read very well. Well, Mr. Speaker, when President Obama says cap and trade, he means hard caps. This government proposal doesn't cap emissions at all. Its intensity-based targets would see polluters profit by qualifying to trade credits as overall emissions go up and not down. Mr. Speaker, will the minister simply admit that in order for Canada to participate alongside the U.S. cap and trade, his entire plan would have to be dismantled and rebuilt from the ground up?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary, the Minister of the Environment.
Well, Mr. Speaker, today is Friday the 13th, and under the Liberals, every day was a Friday the 13th.
Order. Order. I know it's Friday, but we'll have to hear the Honourable Member. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary, the Minister of the Environment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, the fact is now we've turned the corner. Those dark years are over. Mr. Speaker, we have the toughest targets in Canadian history. 20% absolute reductions by 2020, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, the question still rings within this Parliament. The question from the leader of the Liberal Party, why didn't they get it done?
Honourable Member for Gatineau. Mr. Speaker,